Alright.
That it was meant to be. Living in a time where disease is on every screen. I won't let them fester me. I know most are festering. Negativity is a plague for the mentally weak. No mercy, all I got is working. Never stop searching, never quench the thirsty. I'm toxic and psychotic, with this logic you can't stop it. It's been chronic since I was a boy, so neurotic and chaotic. Oh! I could change the past with all I'm achieving. Got my foot on gas, never stop competing. If you break like glass, then this life's gonna eat 'em. Make mistakes real fast, then you learn how to beat 'em. If you take off the cast, you can see all the healing. If the things in the past, move on from the grave and put your foot on the gas. Don't never stop competing, yeah. I've been doing this, I'm on it. I just wanna be
Alright. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon. So I'm wireless for the first time, but I still have a disconnection issue, so I probably need a router. Oh god, I hope you guys could hear me. Yeah, you guys can hear me. I did the test. I did several tests. So if you can't hear me, I'm sorry. I'm trying my best to become this cool, nerdy streamer. Oh wait, no, I'm cool. One moment. Let's see how everything looks. Alright, hi. How's everyone doing? So this is another episode of Nerd Talks. I don't know how long this stream is going to last. But I've always been a bit I'm a uber nerd. Okay, I love just about everything to anime, sci-fi, video games, comics. I may not be one of those smart nerds like you see on The Big Bang Theory, but I am just a normal nerd. No rocket scientist. So I'm going to be talking about some stuff about our favorite sci-fi shows, science fiction shows, whatever you want to call, TV shows, movies, comics, video games, whatever you want to discuss or want to talk to me about. But if you don't talk, I will start several conversations about certain shows and stuff like that. Science fiction is just really interesting. It always interests me as a kid. You know, the whole futuristic worlds and stuff like that you explore. It's like, you know, it's like amazing. Because we always expect there was out human civilization, but sci-fi just brings new light to the world of sci-fi and science fiction itself. I mean, science fiction is just science fiction is like it's in part of us, you know, because eventually science fiction would become fiction. It would become reality. I mean, we didn't expect to see robots, but we're working on building robots. Like those droids in Star Wars. I don't know why they call them droids. They should be just called machines, robots, AIs. No, they had to call them droids. Oh well. I guess droids are short for androids. Oh, okay, I see. Well played, Star Wars. Almost science fiction. You got shows like Dune. It's Dune sci-fi? Yeah. You have Babylon 5, a TV show. I love Babylon 5. Holy hell. One of my favorite shows. I just didn't wish, I wish they didn't cancel it. You know? I think it got canceled, right? Yeah. It's amazing ideas. Parts, like this battle between good and evil. That was the main focus in Babylon 5. But you have two alien races that manipulate humanity throughout the ages in Babylon 5, and you know, the Roll-Ons, you got the Roll-Ons, which are alien creatures that live in artificial bodies, like robotic bodies, like machines. Like a machine type of armor type of thing. And you got the Shadows, I think they call it, the spooky, organic, spider-like creatures. And yeah, I mean, there was one of the, and the plots and stories are always good. The characters are very relatable. Yeah, and I mean, Babylon 5 is just an awesome TV show. If you had never heard of it, look it up and watch it. Like, okay, I know I should have to start this off, but Star Trek is great. Gene Roddenberry created a show. It was back in what, the 70s, 60s? I was 60s when Star Wars Trek came out. The original I'm talking about. You got Captain Cook, this badass guy who, a womanizer, always chasing, you know, girls and stuff. God, you gotta have a lot of kids, that guy. But you know, it's. One second, folks. I'm sorry about that. I don't know if you guys could see that little mishap, but if you did, I'm sorry. One second, folks. Alright. Yeah. OBS like to act up on me sometimes. Still trying to gain the hang of all this. It's been what, ages, and I still have problems. Nah, I started all this streaming crap like in November. I'm still learning new tricks and stuff, but you know, and I've been trying to teach myself how to do all. So I picked this world, you know, it's like a cyberpunk themed world. And I know, people were disappointed with Cyberpunk 2066, was it? 67? I know. the Cyberpunk game. Mainly because people had high hopes for it, and the people who was promoting the game promised too much. Too much that they just wind up. But the game still was a really good game to play, Cyberpunk. I enjoyed it. If the whole game wasn't perfect. It was entertaining to me. Let's see. Let's see. I mean, Star Trek. Oh yeah, back to the topic on Star Trek. It was on like a big fan base. Nobody thought it was a possibility. Then you got Next Generation. Next Generation was really awesome. Instead of Captain Cook, you got Don Luke Picard or something. Picard. Let's call him Picard because I know his last name better than his first name. But Picard was very interesting character. He always looked more older to me, but he was smart. He was intelligent. He was almost the opposite of Picard. I mean, not Picard, Captain Cook. But Captain Picard. I mean, Next Generation was always really good for me to watch as a kid because you had the android, you had that blind guy, Geordi LaForge, you had the doctor. Oh my god, I forgot the doctor. Her name, and you have that. Oh my god, I forgot a lot of characters' names. Oh, I need to watch Generations again. But you had a lot of interesting story arcs in Generations, and you know, Next Generations always was my favorite. It was my favorite. I had more fun of memories of watching that than Star Trek, the original Star Trek. So yes, I'm a Generation fan over the original stuff. And yeah, Picard can totally kick Captain Cook ass. That's me, hands down. If you want to debate that, we debate this. But Picard can kick Cook ass. Dude, I said it. I said it again. But yeah, well, the original show did have Scotty, and and Spock. Oh my god, I almost forgot Spock's name. Oh my god, how can I do that? How can I call myself a geek if I can't remember simple stuff like who the hell Spock was? Although I did enjoy some of the movies, Star Trek movies, mainly I don't like the Wrath-of-Khan, that's it. Wrath-of-Khan was amazing. It was very emotional, story-driven movie. Others element I feel like for that movie, for the other movies of Star Trek. But let's get back on to Generations. You got Klingon, a freaking Klingon, and they redid the Klingon designs. If you haven't noticed, the original Klingons didn't have like those bone growth around their heads and whatnot. Plus, Generation introduced like the a lot of new elements to the story. Telling new characters, new enemies. Oh my god. I've only been streaming 18 minutes and I can't remember text it about any other topics. We hosted last night. Let's continue on. Klingons. Got the Klingons, which Generation made famous, by the way. Original Star Trek, not so much. I mean, they didn't look that great. I mean, the original Star Trek was limited to, you know, to designs and bad props. But they tried, you know, with the technology in hand to create a great sci-fi show, and I did enjoy Star Trek. It's just I like Generations better. And Deep Space Nine, holy hell, Deep Space Nine was amazing. Really good story plots, and it was more story based, I think, than action based, but. But, you know, fuck man, Deep Space Nine had a good ending too. I mean, I'm more familiar with all of the old stuff. I don't know much about the newer Star Trek stuff. I haven't watched anything yet with the new Star Treks. I know they did like a retelling of, a Captain Cook story origin and stuff like that with Spock and you know, and the other characters like oh yeah, and Bones. Oh my god, I can't believe I forgot about Bones. Damn it, Jim. I'm a doctor, not a. Is it doctors? I couldn't think of anything. I'm sorry, folks. But yeah, it's like space, the final frontier. These are the men and women of the Enterprise. Value. I can't remember the intro to Star Trek, but the music was really amazing and inspiring. Who wouldn't create a fan base out of Star Trek? So these no talks usually last like an hour or two. But I'll be streaming video games again. Monday? Yeah, Monday. Starting Monday. I mean, I'm playing a kind of sci-fi-ish game right now. Where you hack like the world around you and the environments. Everything is run on computers in that world, and you can easily hack anything. It's called the game I'm playing right now is called Watch Dogs. It's a semi sci-fi game, a little bit based more on modern day stuff too. Because there's still normal technology in the game, but it's like feel like it takes place like 10 years from now, you know. And yeah, you don't want to hook up everything, every technology to one database because I mean, look what you can do in that game. You could hack power lights. You could hack pipes. You could hack like generators and stuff like that, and computers. Hell, this is why we don't do that. Have that type of technology integrated into everything because hell, that would be bad for us, really. But, there are really bad cyber hackers out there already hacking people's accounts and they try to hack almost anything just to get money, blackmail, your account information. But maybe someday, yeah, everything might be run on technology, so you'll probably be able to hack a freaking computer and control power lights. You could control satellites. You could control like nukes. I mean, seriously, that's a possibility in the future. People integrate everything to one server or one computer, and that spells instant doom for us. So don't try to do something like that, folks. I'm sure they will. Actually, in the realm of sci-fi, Star Trek always seems more peaceful. Like, people fought each other in like a bad war, and they come together in peace after first contact with the Vulcan race. And when we saw it in Star Trek Next Generation movie, how the first contact went. But yeah, you know, it's Star Trek Next Generation was really well done. Well, not the movies though. Although they are entertaining, I have to give it that. They did take too much of the plot from the TV show and put it in the movie. Like that emotional chip that Data used. Control his emotions and feelings and stuff. That was in one of the earlier TV shows, the TV show episodes, but you know. I think the most memorable Star Trek Generation TV show episode I can remember is a Magic Flute, the one where Picard lived a alternate fantasy life. that actually showed the history of the world, how that world ended when that probe Picard on was living in a fantasy world that felt so real to him. He even learned how to play a flute because of that virtual reality world. The people in that world knew they were gonna be wiped out, so they left behind a satellite or some type of probe, to let people know that they will exist at one point. They were there. And that's why I like the Massive Flute episode of Star Trek Generation. I think it's called that. I'm pretty sure it is called that, but I could be wrong. Oh. Next Generation also introduced the Ferengis, which showed up in Deep Space Nine more. But they were like this trader group of alien traders, smugglers, bandits. They would trade. They would always constantly look for money and ways to do it. Sometimes they did things the right way. Sometimes they did things like manipulate people and con people, Quark, that's his name from Deep Space Nine, the alien bartender who actually was also a smuggler, performing illegal operations and stuff. And what's it, Worf? Murph, the alien security guard. He was pretty much like what? A police officer? On Deep Space Nine, a security officer, I think they called it. And he was a changeling, which is also pretty cool. We saw a new introduction of alien race in that show, who became one of the main protagonists in the Star Trek Deep Space Nine and all that jazz. But I haven't talked much about Star Wars yet. I will get to it. Maybe now. If you're ever wondering what's better, Star Trek or Star Wars, I would always say Star Trek. Because I feel like Star Trek has hope for it. It shows me hope for humanity, that humanity could go beyond the stars. Put the hate and anger aside for peace and prosperity. And Star Wars was more like a sci-fi fantasy. The theme was it took place in a galaxy far away. So in Star Wars. So maybe never it probably doesn't exist anymore. Maybe before we came along, there was a race of humans existing in the stars somewhere. With all these other aliens and stuff in the Star Wars universe. I always thought this was kind of creepy. I mean, at first, in the Star Wars universe. Yeah. But that universe wasn't as peaceful as the ones in Star Trek, but the universe, the world, the galaxy, the world, blah. blah 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 blah. But Star Wars was always kind of more violent, and it also had the theme of good versus evil. You got Empire, you got the rebels. Both represents good and evil. And the first it was anything that exists in the cosmos. It's supposed to be what? The source of all life in the universe, and you tap into this life energy and manipulate people's minds and do cool black flips with laser katanas called lightsabers, but you know. I'm not gonna lie, Star Wars had moments. Then the prequel came out. There we go, we got the nice emotion for that. Did not like the prequel whatsoever. Didn't like Anakin being just this little child running around causing trouble, and he somehow magically able to save the day at the end of that. What the wait, did he save the day after that? No. It was Obi-Wan that did that. I did like the young Obi-Wan thing, because we got to see, you know, what Obi-Wan was like before, you know, Darth Vader kicked his ass, took his life. Which didn't bug me as much, because when Darth Vader killed Obi-Wan Kenobi, I did not feel any emotion whatsoever for Obi-Wan Kenobi. I did not cry. I did not weep. Like, his body just magically disappear and leaves behind a robe. That makes any sense to me. How would... was he dead all along? No. I don't know how his body disappeared like that. I did not know when Vader struck him down. I guess he could do anything with the Force, even live forever as a ghost-like being. However, you know, when Spock died in the Wrath of Khan, I did weep. I did feel something for him. I didn't feel anything from Obi-Wan when he died. Yes, I did not shed any tear for Obi-Wan. I just I don't know. I felt like it was cheap tactic to just take a lightsaber, kill Obi-Wan, and his body just vanish like that. Usually when you strike someone down, they leave behind a body. That's how things is. Maybe he was filled with some first power. Light side power, or whatever the hell you call it. That he just became energy at the end. I don't know. Honestly, don't know. But I do believe that I like Star Trek better than Star Wars. And I will fight anyone. Even put on gloves. And debate this. What is better, Star Trek or Star Wars? Still hands down, Star Trek. However, I did like lots more of the androids, the droids, in Star Trek. I mean, Star Wars. Star Wars had a lot of cool robots, droids, and technology, though. Technology, hands down, in Star Wars story. In the movies were more advanced than what we saw in Star Trek. And again, they didn't have replicators. In Star Wars. I mean, they mainly eat food the same way we did. And they didn't have a holodeck either in Star Wars. Star Trek had that. Maybe technology in both series. One second. Oh, I see. But yeah, I think the technology in both sci-fi series were half and half. I do. Oh. I do believe technology in both series were advanced and not so advanced at the same time. And again, Star Trek, Star Wars took place in galaxy far away. So who knows what happened, after the events of the Star Wars series. What the technology came out afterwards. And when he did come out with holodecks and replicators. Man, this is hard just to talk about something for hours and hours. I think I can only do an hour of this right now. I know. I'm running out of stuff to say, to talk about. I mean, do you guys think robots would be a possibility? Like robot butlers and cybernetics, like androids and stuff, like stuff in Deus Ex, Machia, Human Revolution, or whatever you want to call it. Because that show is awesome. I mean, video game is awesome. My bad. Deus Ex is just freaking amazing game, hands down. Basically, you're an augmented human who is half cyborg, half human. You've been in a horrifying accident, and you've been saved, and you got turned into an android. Cyborg, my bad. Of what they call augmented humans. But you know, let's see, great video game series, Deus Ex, hands down. Because you have cyborg, half human, you got machine parts, you got story revolving around machines and humans and conflicts that involve government cover-ups and conspiracies and stuff. That's Deus Ex for you. It got so involved in stuff like government cover-ups and stuff like that. It started building stories around the Illuminati and the Night Templars and stuff like that. Deus Ex got kind of weird. I mean, the original series. Mankind Divided and Human Revolution. Not so much. They didn't talk much about secret organizations, but they mentioned it. What was cool was the fact that Bob Page was in Human Revolution, the main villain in the Deus Ex series, original series. We got to see what he was like back then. I haven't mentioned much about cartoons, sci-fi cartoons. I can't, for the life of me, remember much. Futurama was a sci-fi cartoon. It had a lot of retro feelings to it, vibe. Futurama was just cool. Like here's some retro stuff based on retro stuff mixed with sci-fi stuff, fantasy stuff. Got this crazy inventor, Farnsworth. You got this funny alien Zoidberg, who everybody hates. Got the Rastafarian accountant. You got Amy Wong. You got Fry. You got Leah. It was really a best sci-fi cartoon for me. Comedy cartoon. Baseballs as one of my favorite comedy sci-fi fantasy TV series. Movies. My bad. Movie. Spaceballs was making fun of Star Wars. It was a parody, but it had so many funny shit in it. I just wish I could remember it all. Well, I have a memory of a goldfish, so I can't remember anything about Spaceballs. Just may the Swiss be with you. That I can remember. Anyway. Let's see, hmm. Hmm. It was, it wasn't making 1 gallon, was it? It had robots in it. Which was very fascinating for me growing up. It confused the crap out of me. I didn't really get it too much, the plots. I need to sit back and watch that again. Even let me see. What else? Another anime. I gotta remember another sci-fi anime. Sorry, I disconnected a little bit. There was more delay there. Yes, another good anime is Robotech was really cool. You had these dying aliens and people trying to wipe out humanity, and humans were fighting them off. The humans were like little ants go to them. Which was really cool for me for some reason. Robotech, the anime. You got this boy named Hunter who had this friend that he looked up to, who was a pilot, who was piloting a technology. Then these alien races come and invade. I believe the story goes that alien spacecraft crashed down and landed on Earth during the 90s, which changed human history. So advanced technology started coming out and stuff like that, and you got those giant robots that are planes that turn into mechs, which I thought was really cool. Cool concept. If you don't know what the original Robotech was, go watch it. It was really fun, memorable. Stories, plot elements were incredible. Let's see, not a sci-fi fantasy anime. How about Gundam? Everybody knows what Gundam is. I don't care which Gundam TV show or anime you watch. There's a shit tons of them. I remember the original being very compelling and interesting story to it. Gundams were pretty cool, seeing dying robots fighting against other dying robots. Using hand cannons and stuff. Oh my god, it just came back to me. A sci-fi cartoon. Transformers. Transformers series were original cartoon series was my favorite, hands down. Came out during the 80s, I believe. I remember watching that as a kid. But I didn't really like it until the movies came out. Nah, that's a lie. They had a couple cartoons that came out and got me back into Transformers. So I started watching the old TV cartoon series. Transformers cartoon series. Oh, hello. How you doing? That's nice. I'm doing okay. I'm hanging in there. Looking down some problems with wireless headset with my Oculus Rift, trying to get that up and running, so I don't have to use the link cables for my to play and stream games. I'm tired of that link cable. That's annoying. Just going wireless, it's just better for me. Oh, you went skiing? That's fun. I never went skiing in my life, but I always wanted to. Glad you had fun. I need to put that on my bucket list. Try skiing. Other than like 80 video games I had to beat, that was added to my bucket list. Okay, not 80, but a couple games. Still need to be like a handful of other games I need to be on my bucket list. Might as well put skiing as one of them, because I always want to try skiing. Go ahead, eat. Always take care of yourself first. Anyway, Gundam anime series. There were so many of them, so many different versions. You got the tiny little robot Gundams. You got the Gundam G Gundam, what's it called, with real sci-fi elements and fantasy crap going on around it. And you got the original Gundam series that was like a war between two, nations or something like that. Oh wait, I was talking about Transformers, not. they didn't kill much for the Transformers movies, but I thought the battle scenes and stuff were pretty good. Oh. It is so hard to talk about stuff. Hmm. Mainly because I'm not much of a talker in real life. I started doing streaming just because I thought I could make people happy. But end up doing the opposite and making me happy. Because I get to talk to you wonderful folks. And it's helped me learn to communicate better with people. Even though I'm not much of a talker, I'm just trying my best to entertain people and still trying to learn how to do that. I'm also entertaining myself a lot too. I do have dreams of becoming a big streamer someday. You know, like I said yesterday, day before, like I want to become a big streamer like some of my friends. They're always entertaining people and making people smile, and having a community of gamers and nerds to talk to all the time. I like to have something like that someday. When I don't suffer from computer problems anymore, and I can stream longer. I haven't been streaming for a long time. Since in November, I started streaming video games. Then I broke into VR chat and started streaming VR chat. I've been trying to figure out what to talk about. You know, my friend just told me to talk about anything, so I'm talking about like video games, cartoons, movies, sci-fi, fantasy stuff. Really am trying to my best here. But I won't give up on this. I just can't. I don't like giving up on anything. I always try to complete my missions and stuff. And I always go back to the games that I don't beat and try to beat them again. I just hate giving up on anything. It's just it's not my style. I'm having some rough patches right now with getting my computer up and ready for VR chat more and gaming more and stuff like that. And it looks like things are starting to look better for me, and I'm really am happy. Things always look brighter if you focus more on positivity, you know, instead of negativity. And negativity just plagues us a lot. It's hard to snap out of negative thought thought thinking and stuff like that. Especially when you have self-esteem issues and stuff like me. Oh, but I don't think about that stuff when I'm in VR. I just don't. Well, okay, that's a lie because I just thought of it. Dang it! I do that dream of having like a big group of friends to talk to and have them prank me during my streams and make fun of me. That's my goal as a streamer to have something like that. Have a group of friends to rely on and depend on. I'm working on that. It's just gonna take time. I may not have too many friends now, but I have high hopes. Mainly the reason why I wanted to become a streamer was just to make people happy, like I said. But it ended up doing the opposite. It made me happy. I enjoy it. I get something out of it. People who watch me get something out of it. Whether I play good video games or crappy video games, I'm gonna stream just tanning about stuff like I'm doing right now. And stream for an hour. That's good. Hour or so right now. And oh boy, it's hard to stream when you have not many friends to hang out with right now. Because you see all these big community streamers surrounded by so many people, and they always tag with you, and they always goofing around with each other, and some of my streaming buddies, I know a couple of streamers right now, and they all seem like fantastic people. I just need to friend like a couple of them, and a couple more of them, and maybe then we could do something together, you know, like group projects and stuff like that. Maybe I don't know. It's just something like to do. I know I haven't been talking about what I wanted to talk about. Sci-fi, science fiction TV shows, cartoons, movies. Probably the scariest sci-fi horror movie I ever seen that scared the crap out of me was AIM movies. The first one was scary as hell, especially with the android. God, when he was like all torn to pieces by the AIM, it freaked the crap out of me. Oh my God, I was a kid and I was scared of watching the AIM movies because of Cyborg was leaking fluid and stuff all over the floor. I do. Okay. Like, that Alien movie was scary as hell. I mean, the first contact with alien life, so terrifying. The xenomorph, oh my god, that it gave me nightmares. I mean, that movie came out during the 90s, right? Yeah. Was it the 80s? Ugh. Oh. But, you know, well, it was a good movie though, good sci-fi movie that I always enjoyed watching over and over again. Blade Runner, the original Blade Runner movie. I don't know about the new one because I heard good things about the new one, recent one. But the original Blade Runner movie was very deep, dark, and gritty. It had a lot of it had a lot of let's see. It had a lot of stories involving like the Blade Runners who hunt down like these rogue androids that act like real humans. And our Blade Runner comes in to track down these rogue alien robots and put a stop to them. But I think the robots only wanted freedom and to live their lives. I mean, but they all were convicts and they were deranged and psychotic. Let's see. What else about that movie? What else about that movie? Had some amazing quotes to that movie too, from that movie, and I can't even remember them. But Blade Runner was one of my favorite TV show movies. Hands down, it still is. Oh boy, I don't know what else to think about. Oh no! Oh no, no, we can't allow that. I'm trying so bad. I am trying so much to entertain people. I really am. Right now I have to do it alone because I'm streaming early and all my friends come on at night. Why is that? I don't know. Yeah, I'm a bit of a night owl myself too, but I have things to do in the morning, afternoon, like napping. I like to nap. Who doesn't like to nap, right? Get some sleep and have some funky dreams. You guys have any favorite sci-fi, science fiction TV shows, comics, cartoons, whatever? Share them with me. You guys are welcome to talk to me about them. Um, I know that some people thought they're not into it. Some people are into more fantasy and RPGs and stuff like that, but you know, I like a little bit of everything. I'm a nerd that appreciates almost anything. Hmm. Space is indeed the final frontier. And like in Star Trek, we probably would explore it once we solve some of our issues and stuff. I know people are talking about traveling to Mars now, and to be honest, I don't think it's a possibility right now. I just think that we need to come together as a species and solve world hunger, and make peace with each other in order to travel the stars, you know? Like in Star Trek. They made peace with themselves, they ended war. Well, I think it was mostly the Vulcans who helped. I mean, they were the first alien race people met in Star Wars Trek universe. I believe. I could be wrong. No, I'm not wrong. You have TV series Enterprise that I still need to watch. That Star Trek TV show, and some of the newer stuff. I just don't always have the time for that stuff right now. Hmm. I do. I'm just doing my best here, and that's fine, I guess. Um, I'm actually having fun. I'm not gonna lie. I'm having fun here. I get to meet people. I get to enjoy VR. It's a win-win, you know. Plus, I could do this. Stick my tongue out. I'm a one cool mother. Anyway, I think we've been streaming long enough. Guys, have a beautiful day. Stay positive, and I will talk to you again more. I promise you that. I will try to be more talkative. I'm still starting out as a streamer, so please be patient with me, okay? Alright, I love you all. Take care now.